All right, guys, welcome back to Lay It On. All right. Great. It's a wonderful podcast. For those of you just joining us, it might be the best podcast in the world. And today's guest is no shorter description than that. One of the best. All right. But before we get into that, all right, before we go down that rabbit hole, I want to promote you guys. I want to ask you guys, promote might not. Yeah, I guess we're going to promote you guys. I want to ask you guys, go ahead, please. Send in some questions, concerns, maybe some ideas to layitonbradleone@gmail.com. Okay. Lay it on bradleone@gmail.com. That is lay it on Brad, Leone. All right. This one's coming in from Philip. Oh, all right, Philip from Missoula, Montana. Right on theme with our next guest. How funny. How do you keep your wooden cutting boards, butcher block, smell free and in water resistant condition? When is the last time you smelled your cutting board block? Do you scrub them with lemons and kosher salt? Thank you, Philip from Missoula, Montana. Yeah, so cutting boards, they do. If you let them go, if you don't clean them, they can actually, Philip, I have smelled a cutting board before, and it's disgusting. Actually, I can visualize it right now, and it makes me a little nauseous. If you were to like get a dirty cutting board and scrape the edge of your blade on it, the shit that comes off it, I could throw up. It's like board pus. It's disgusting. I'm actually getting a little nauseous, and not a lot of things do that other than the ocean and fucking cutting board pus. Jesus Christ, this is disgusting. We just lost every listener. All right, back to the questions. How do you clean your cutting board? Yeah, I do what I do is like soapy water, hot water, and I rub it down, little elbow grease, bud, rinse it, dry it, and then when needed, I apply it with a mineral oil and a mineral oil and a beeswax mixture, like a board butter. And I rub that baby down on all sides, and I let it soak in, and then I kind of like buff it in, little wax on, wax off at the end there, and it just polishes up and let it. The reason I let it soak for a while is to let it really kind of hydrate. Other people use other things to lock and see, boards. I like it just kind of all natural, little, just a good cutting board, just kept dry and clean and washed and cared for properly should last you a long time. If you're having a lot of odor issues, then you're probably not cleaning it enough, or it needs to be sanded because maybe it has way too many little cut marks and scratches and nooks and crannies, Philip. You don't want that harboring bacteria and yuck and board pus. Thanks for calling in, Philip. I hope that was helpful. Just wash your boards, soap and water, elbow grease, hot water, and boom, boom, boom. We're keeping her clean. Sand it if you need to. If it gets all scuffed up, if it's looking like a concrete surface, I really scratched up. You know what I'm getting at. If it looks like hell, then you want to go ahead and sand that down, Maybe start at some 80 grit. Step it up to 120, 220. Boom. Good luck with the board, Philip. All right, stay clean, stay funky, stay sexy. Wow. Okay. Well, I tell you what, today, let's keep it on theme with our guests, and maybe you guys will figure it out along the way who our guest is. Okay. But it's hunting season here in New England. Okay. Stay with me. All right. It's great. It's I love doing it. Our guest is a big proponent of it and a big fan of it. And, excited to have him on. And I went this morning. Okay. And it's archery season here in New England. And that's what I did. I got up at 5 a.m. I made a little coffee. I put all my little camo on, like a little G.I. Joe guy. Okay. And I went out there I left the house at 5:20 in the morning, and I got a sweet spot I like to hunt at my buddy's farm. And, so I drove down there, and I walked into the woods. It was kind of a full moon and a clear night. The grass was wet. My boots got all kind of wet, but that's okay. They're waterproof. Okay. And then I go creeping in through the woods, not too far, through the thorn bushes, through the thicket and but I kind of got this little trail, guided by the moon, all right, and Mars, and I find my tree stand, which is this it's like this little platform that's about 25 feet up in the air, and I got these little stick ladders that you strap to the tree, all right, no holes, no nothing. In and out, baby. You can take that thing down. I put it up by myself, right? Jesus Christ, that should be a video right there. Just people putting tree stands up. My God, what a freaking spectacle. What a carnival. Okay. And then, yeah. All right, stay with me. And then it's pitch dark and you sit up there, you climb up in your tree stand. All right. Being all quiet. You're not even talking. You're not even blinking. You're kind of hallucinating because you're in the woods and it's dark and it's like, what's going, what? It's beautiful. And you sit up there in your tree stand with your bow and arrow and you sit there for hours. Okay. Sometimes you sit there for 20 minutes. Sometimes you sit there for 45 minutes. Sometimes you sit there all day. All right. That's the name of the game here. Tree stand hunting for white-tailed deer in New England. And it's, oh God, I love it. It's something about it. We'll get into it. Maybe we'll talk about some hunting with our next guest, but I did that today and it was great. And other than that, man, just excited to have the next guest on. He is one of my inspirations when it comes to the outdoors, hunting and fishing, but also, writing books, being on camera, TV work. I find him to be a pioneer, or at least a champion of the hunting and fishing and wildlife of my generation. I often refer to him as the Bourdain of the outdoor space. Let's give a nice warm welcome to the one and the only, the legendary Stephen Rinella. Steve, welcome to the show, man. Good to see you.
Thank you, Brad.
Steve, I hope in a good way. Steve, before we get going, I wish we were rolling about 5 minutes ago. We had some technical difficulties, but we fished right through them with our team, with our ocean of engineers that we have on staff here. And there's every time I meet you and see you, especially digitally, it warms up a bit, and it's already faded since we've started the call, but you kind of have this look like you're like a very upset father. Like you're just like,
well, no, I'm the kid. I often am.
I don't mean towards you in general, like as a dad, but like in this scenario, I'm the child, and like you called me in, and like we're like Brad, I need you to take a seat.
Yeah, I need you to get ready quicker in the morning because you're creating a ton of stress in the household. Because we're trying to get everybody to school, but you're not ready.
God, yeah, something. Maybe
and then
even
all your
worse.
Stuff's all over the laundry room.
Yep.
There's food wrappers in your bedroom.
Are these problems you currently face?
I'm just doing like an angry dad thing, man. I'm giving you an angry dad talk.
Oh, it's not the worst. Yeah, but no, man. All jokes aside, thanks for coming on, man, and thanks for the time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. When I say I think about you all the time is we had such a fun time that time we were fishing. Remember we did that little float trip on the Yellowstone, and I was fishing with some people there the other day, and we were reminiscing about that.
Yo, it was a blast. I mean, that was a couple of years ago. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it's not a ton of folks, or maybe I am wrong, but the objective was to catch whitefish.
That's right.
And that was like, man, I was so jealous of that fishery that you guys have. Like, we have a lot of fish out here, but like they're tasty little fun little suckers to catch.
Dude, there's a lot to be said for living in the Northern Rockies, but from a fishing end of things, you should be glad you're living where you live.
Oh, it wasn't an accident. I couldn't be away from the ocean, I don't think. But yeah, it was a blast, man. It was a great little episode we did, and got to smoke them back at your house. And just delicious, I guess maybe just because I'm not, maybe just because I don't have them, it's like it's always a treat when you get to go do something or eat something that you don't get often.
Hey, look what I'm holding. The guy just gave us this.
Which, alligator gar?
Yeah, I didn't know that a normal dude can't get formaldehyde. He soaks them in formaldehyde.
What do you mean normal guy can't get formaldehyde?
Well, we immediately were like, let's get us a jug of formaldehyde, and you can't. He soaks them in formaldehyde and then puts them in a water bath and lets them dry. And look at this thing. You could drive a nail with this thing.
Dang, huh? Those things are they're dinosaurs, man.
Well, that's what we talked about. He's we had a gar researcher on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a creature. I got years ago, Steve, I got to make a video. It was quite the little hoot, little sensation on the internets. Me and the old Canadian sensation himself, Matty Matheson, big old fella from up in Toronto. He was on the Bear. He's been cooking for forever. And we went down to, and maybe it was Arkansas. No, it wasn't. But anyway, we were in this river and with this guy Skip, and he was just like a big, bad boy from back in the day. He was, going noodling for catfish, and he made everybody take off any jewelry. It was quite the shit show of a production. We had to like buy a couple rafts from Walmart to float like the sound guy and some of the production gear on. It was a complete liability, but we went for it, which was amazing. But point being, old Skip, he was a man. What a lunatic. Shirtless, big chested. It looked like he had a wool sweater on, and he was just warning us about these alligator gars. And that one time, this lady wouldn't take her religious necklace off, and the alligator gar came up, bit her nipple right off.
Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Clean off. And we seen them when we were in the water. They were feel them going in between your legs and stuff. You could see them breaching on the surface.
I'm just thinking about them little babies having only half as much to eat.
What are you talking about?
Well, if you lost your nipple, you can only breastfeed on one side.
I think it was an older woman. I think she was.
My mind always goes right to the babies.
Yeah, you know what? That's the fatherly instinct in you. Thinking about the kids there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I guess that would disrupt the lactic cycle there.
Yeah, it would.
Sure.
I think it'd be devastating to 50% of your lactic cycle.
Absolutely devastating to 50%. I couldn't agree more, Steve. Also, but I wanted to let you in since it's been a couple months now, and I got you on the show, so I figured I'd share it with you now. I've already told this story already, but I was fishing with my son. We have a little center console. We live right on the water, not too far from the water here. Got a nice little slip, real fishy little slip. It's great. Quick little access right in between like Montauk and Block Island, little triangle. All right. Mm. And there's this great little reef structures and Sugar Reef and the Watch Hill, all the way from Watch Hill to Fisher's Island. Just a really amazing striped bass and overall inshore fishery. Anyway, we go out, my kid, he's getting into it, and it's been like the best, like getting him catching fish and you get even a small striped bass, anything out of the ocean is a monster to a he's 9 years old. So we got a nice fish on it. It's a beautiful day. There's birds, all over the place. The fish are kind of busting all over the place. And we hook onto some nice like slot size fish, a little bit under. This one was probably 26 inches, let's say. All right. And they got to be 28 to 31 to keep. And, we could talk about that too, but, I try not to keep, I keep a couple, but I think they might be hurting. Anyway, Brad, stay on the story. So he's holding this, we catch this fish and, beautiful fish. He reels it in, smile ear to ear, sunset's going, and it's just a beautiful night. And he's holding this fish up and I'm kind of leaning on the captain's bench, it's a small little Grady White center console. And I'm trying to get this picture, I'm having the freaking best time. And he's holding it up and he's holding it. It does a big tail flap.
Uh-huh.
And he drops the fish. And it falls and it hits my leg. And it felt like electricity. It felt like just a super sharp pain, like a way worse pain than like a fish hitting you should hurt. Even if it like scratched you or something like that. So I sit down for a second. We pick the thing up and it shot like a jolt through my whole leg. Like, you know what I mean? Like a nervous, like an electrical jolt. And I see a little hole and it's just got a little bit of blood, just like little, couple little.
Like from a dorsal spine?
Yeah. So that's what happened. A little, quick little dorsal spine on the top of my kneecap. Okay. And hurts like hell. And I'm thinking maybe it just went in there and maybe it touched a nerve or hit some meniscus or something. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. But I remember we didn't go in, we kept fishing, but I remember I had to sit down for 10 minutes because it hurt so much.
Wow. Yeah.
And so long story short, we go in, it hurt like hell that night. And everyone's like, you should go get antibiotics, go to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, it doesn't as time started to go on, I'm like, a couple days goes by. I'm like, it started to feel better. It wasn't getting worse. It wasn't red. It wasn't really swelling. But every now and then I'd get like a sharp pain if I moved a little weird or something.
Okay.
Oh man, a week goes by. I do a shoot out in Portland, Oregon. We're doing this pig farm out in Oregon. Really, really great Deck family farm at my buddy Eli from Olympia Provisions, big charcuterie maker, restaurant guy out in Portland. And do the whole shoot. When I fly home, my knee when I get home. I think it's because I was sitting for like 6 hours. It was just it felt like there was like a knife in there. And when I got home, it just got worse over the next couple of days. So I'm like, all right, I like take my breath away pain sometimes. So it's been about 2 weeks since the fish. And yeah, but again, it didn't have any like, if infections are like these like hot.
Yeah. But
swollen,
that thing's got to be in there though, living in there.
Well, getting nasty.
Well, I don't know,
anyway, I go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I go to the doctor, and they're like, all right, well, we gotta you gotta get an X-ray. So the X-ray guy, he takes the X-ray and he goes, there's nothing in there. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll wait till maybe I'll talk to the doctor, bud. Thanks, Ralph. And he was a cranky man. And anyway, doctor comes in and they're like, yeah, we're not sure. We're going to send it to some folks that are better at our job than we are. And so they got a second opinion. They're like, yep, you got like a 2.5-inch piece of a spine stuck under your kneecap.
Wow.
And it must have just been lodged in that patella. It punctured because your joint is like a sealed little unit, like a sealed ball bearing type, you know what I mean? Like it's sealed from, fucking, I don't know, biology and shit. Yeah, science. And so this thing went in there. Long story, even longer. I had to get surgery where they went in, Steve. They had to put me under 3 holes where they had to blow my knee up, go in there, clean it all, cut it open. And I was out of commission for I missed a vacation. I missed a couple trips. I was out in recovery for about 2.5 weeks.
Really?
So all in all,
that's like getting attacked by a shark.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a striped bass.
It was freak. I probably couldn't do it again like that if I tried. I'd literally have to dorsal fin, and them things are pretty gnarly.
Well, I hope your kid feels terrible.
Yeah, he never fished again. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what this is really about.
Yeah, we lost an angler.
He's grounded. He's been grounded ever since.
I look at him like you on a Zoom every time I see him now. No, I was very clear that it was just
Wow, that is insane, man.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to one-up you, and this doesn't one-up you, but my brother-in-law likes to, when he was younger, he would, barefoot skiing, it's like skiing but not barefooting. Yep. You know how bluegills come up and sun themselves on the surface?
Yep.
He smoked one of those one time with his foot and had to have those surgically removed from his foot. That doesn't one-up your story, though. Your story's better.
It's all, I think I'd take the foot over the kneecap, but that must have been a horrible thing as well, because they got some nasty little fins too.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, freak accident, man. But you know what? I've killed a lot of bass and fish in my life, and and we let that one go. And it's just the way it goes. Could have been a lot worse. As long as I'm glad it didn't get infected. They put me on. You know what they put me on, Steve? That I'm gonna butcher the word, but like dioxycycline, the stuff they put you on for Lyme disease.
Yep.
Messed me up. I felt like a vampire, real sun sensitive, and
golly, man. Huh.
Yeah, that happened this summer, man. But we're at 100%. We're back to firing on all cylinders, and it's going great, man.
Oh, that's a good fishing story.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Nothing bad, it all worked out. So it's going to make a story for us to, hopefully we'll have me and the boy will have a beer and a bass over it one day or something.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But how's it been going for you, Steve?
Oh, it's been going good, man. Been home a bit more than normal, I'd say, which has been real nice. I went to Africa for a month this summer.
That's right.
But my family was with me for a little while for some of it, so that was cool. And then I'll hunt with my kids a whole bunch over the next few weeks here.
Oh, nothing better than that, huh?
No, it's great, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't even
you got a few kids, right?
I got 3. So
And
the
they're
youngest
all-
one is now old enough to hunt deer. My youngest one just turned 10. So, this weekend we'll go antelope hunting. But only my older 2 you got to be 12 to get an antelope permit. So
Okay.
we'll go, the older 2, I'll take them antelope hunting. Then we'll come home for a couple of days. Then we'll take off and we'll go deer hunting for the youth deer season.
Is antelope considered a deer? Is it a type of deer?
No. No, deer they're all cervid. So anything that drops, it has an antler and drops its antler,
So what? Them pronghorns, they don't do that?
Well, no. So they're the only horned animal in the world that sheds its horn on an annual cycle. But no, their closest relative, they're like kind of like more like a goat. I think their closest living relative is a giraffe, maybe.
An antelope?
A pronghorn.
A pronghorn.
Pronghorn,
Wow.
like people call them antelope, American pronghorn. Okay. They always called them antelope because Europeans, when Europeans came here, they felt that it reminded them of all the African antelope species, right? So the same way they felt that the American buffalo reminded them of Cape buffalo and water buffalo, so they called it a buffalo. Antelope reminded them of African antelope species, so they called it an antelope. More properly, it would be the American pronghorn. But it's a horn, and the difference between a horn and an antler, like the kind of 2 primary differences, is horns are like made out of the same stuff your hair is made out of and your fingernails is made out of, keratin.
Okay.
Horn antlers are like bone-like. Antlers shed and horns don't. But with pronghorn, they don't have any relatives. They're the only thing they're the only member of their own genus.
Really?
Yeah, they're endemic to North America. They have no close relatives. And they have a horn, meaning it's a keratinous sheath over a bone structure. They have a horn, but it sheds. And what's weird about the horn is it has a prong on it, hence the name pronghorn. Most horns are, a horn is one thing. It might curl or be straight, but it doesn't have a fork on it. But they got a prong on their horn.
Gotcha. Okay, so like a bison, that sleeve sheds off?
Yeah, and underneath there is a bone core.
Right. Okay, and that's
when you take
permanent,
a pronghorn's horn off, it's a bone core. The reason it sheds is a new one forms underneath it and eventually forces the old sheath off. But the sheaths don't last that long, but you'll still find them out laying around.
Like a crab.
Yeah, so they're like a real unique animal, man.
Wow.
Yeah, they're real unique. Very fast. Second fastest land animal on the planet.
And they're from North America.
Yep.
So
they're
the only one, right?
Say it again.
In North America, it's the only type in North America. There's
the only type any. I mean, like I said, they're their own gene. They're the only member of their own genus. They don't have any. They don't have any close relatives. People are always debating what its closest relative is, but I don't know, like a giraffe, I guess. So
how's the population of those critters?
I mean, there's like huntable populations all over their home range. There's some areas where they're more imperiled. Northern Mexico, so the Sonoran Desert and stuff has pronghorn. I think that pronghorn aren't doing as well in northern Mexico. They're very weather dependent. So you'll see, winter kill can be an issue. Drought can be an issue. They have to have access to water. So you'll have spikes and drops in pronghorn populations. In our state, numbers were pretty down in a lot of areas of our state because of a series of bad winters. I think that fawn recruitment though this year was up 40%. So there's a ton of fawns on the ground. It fluctuates, but they're good. I mean, long term. If you're going to look at long term prognosis and say what are the winners going to be, the winners will be like long term, centuries long view would be white-tailed deer, Canada geese, crows, carp will be long-term winners. The American pronghorn will be will almost certainly be a long-term loser because development doesn't do them any favors. They like open areas. They don't like fences. They most of they can't jump fences. There's some exceptions, but they typically have to go under a fence.
Interesting.
So when you run like 4 or 5 strand barbed wire, they can't. They got to find crossings to get under it. They can't jump over it. They're not used to. They're not used to obstructions on the landscape.
Having to do that. They've been on the prairie for.
Yep. So they don't. They'll walk up and down a fence. They'll just walk up and down a fence trying to find out how to get under it. Development doesn't do them any favors. They're migratory too, and so their migration routes get screwed up. So long term, we're going to have them if we decide we want them, and that we decide we're willing to make the necessary sacrifices. But like very long term, I would picture life for them getting harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, certainly sounds like it.
Yeah. As opposed to deer, the white-tailed deer love humans. Like there's nothing a deer likes more than a human,
Little symbiotic, little edge creature there. Yeah, they certainly seem to thrive. You see it in community, especially out here in New Jersey, Long Island, places where they get into these little nooks, these little habitats where no one's hunting them, except for a couple lunatic poachers with bow and crossbows or something. You know what I mean? Like, and there's just monster bucks and 85,000 does in there.
Yeah, they're like, sure, I'll live in this cemetery. That's no problem.
Yeah, I'll live in this garden. Sure. Yeah, exactly. School zone.
Yeah, I'll live on the playground. That's cool.
Yeah. Little town deer. But are they them? I'm just infatuated now with these pronghorns. For a while, I've seen them out in Wyoming and New Mexico, just driving and going to do other hunts or something like that. But I've always wanted to hunt them. Are they good eating?
Yeah, well, I sure like them. People, it's the same thing. People will tell you, they'll be like, "Oh, they're gamey." That's my annoying voice. They have they have they have a taste to them, right? They eat a lot of sage. They have a taste. So if you're used to meat that doesn't have much taste, you'll probably think it has a gamey flavor. But we love them. A lot of my friends love them. I got a lot of friends that like them better than everything else. What a thing that blows my mind, and it's true. When you get one and you get up to it, and you bury your nose down into its hair, it smells like Frito-Lay corn chips.
Come on.
No, I'm telling you, dude. Every
single one.
Listen, people are like, that's not true. I'm like, smell it. They smell like, yeah. Like when I took a buddy of mine pronghorn hunting, I told him that. I said, listen, man, you smell it, it'll smell like Frito-Lay corn chips. And he took a smell and he said, we need to get out the bean dip.
What do you think that is? Is it eating corn and is it oily? Like
no, it's just, they got like an oil on their hide, like something's on there. It's just a weird smell, like it's dander. I don't know. It's just, I think it's like what do they call it? Convergent evolution. Corn chips and antelope, like, just coincidentally arrived at the same.
You go in for a smell every time?
Every time, man. Every time.
You have to.
Yeah, and this will be my daughter's first year hunting, so I'm real excited.
Oh, exciting. So what are you, just like spotting and stalking and
you'll try to get eyeballs on them way out and then crawl in. We spend a lot of time crawling on them and then try to wait for them. Like, a lot of times you kind of wait for them to make like a little mistake, like they'll go and do a dip, or you can get like a hill between you and them, or you kind of got to wait for something to play right. In a perfect world, they'll be moving a little bit, and you'll wait, and they'll kind of get into a spot where you can maneuver without them knowing, and then you stage up and hope that their trajectory continues. So then you get where you're like, so if they keep going that way, they're going to pop out here in front of us pretty soon. Then you might lay there and eventually they pop out.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, but we'll usually find them. Like, we'll find them a few miles away and just a couple miles away, whatever, and just start picking our way over there.
Now, when they go down into a little hill, can you close some distance if they go?
Yeah, I've had it before where just things play out perfectly and you can get quite close, but typically they're hard. They're very hard, and they're
skittish.
Yeah, and what's funny about them is you can drive by. They know what's up. They'll be standing by a highway. All these cars going by 70 miles an hour, and they don't even lift their head. But dude, if one of those cars drops down to 20 miles an hour, they're out. They know what's normal. They know what's not normal. You know what I mean?
Because when I saw them driving, it looked like I could just pull over. Like it was like. they'd be gone.
They have a very fine-tuned sense of what's going on. Yeah, they're difficult, and then it gets more, like everything gets more difficult the longer into the season you get. So like at the beginning of the season, you can get away with stuff that you're never going to get away with later in the season.
Sure, a lot of people once they
figure out what's up. But there's like a little bit of a management. There's a little bit of a management deal that happens that I don't really. They still do. I don't agree with it really. I'm starting to not agree with it. They still do a lot of doe harvest. On like you'll have these years when there aren't any around. Like numbers will be way down. They'll cut how many tags are out there. Then numbers will pick up and they start issuing a bunch of doe tags. And I'd sometimes feel like it might just be just in a very general sense. It might make, I think, with mule deer and pronghorn, I think in a general sense to slow down on doe harvest. Yeah.
Just let them reproduce.
Slow down on doe harvest. They go after them pretty hard now and then, and they seem to be so wildly cyclical that I feel like it'd smooth the curve out if we were a little more, little less gung-ho on doe harvest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's pretty neat.
But I don't really know. I'd have to talk to someone that knows more than me about it, but that's my gut feeling.
Sure. So what, the males, is it like a deer? Do the males get the horns and the females don't?
Yeah, but the females will, some percentage of the females will throw a little devil horn, or they'll throw a set of devil horns, or just one devil horn. Like a little shitting horn like your pinky.
Right.
And she might just throw one.
Is she like a stud female, or is it just?
I don't know, man. I'd have to. That's a great question. I don't know if she has. If you surveyed those females, if they have higher testosterone levels, that throw those little horns. Like I don't know what drives that. I don't know what drives that.
Don't whitetail do that too sometimes?
Not nearly. Yes, but not nearly like pronghorn.
Like that.
Like I'd say like 1 in 3, 4, 5 will have some kind of little nub.
Gotcha.
But nothing like the males. Like a big pronghorn male, he 13, 14, 15, 16-inch horns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like you get up into 17, you're talking some toads then,
What's a big male weigh? Like 80 pounds?
Oh, no. They'll break 100 pounds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's the meat like? I'm just imagining like tuna of the land, like just like rich, like high twitch muscle.
It's a relatively tender meat.
Oh.
But very sagey, very flavorful. Like I said, people will taste and they'll think it tastes gamey. Also, when you're hunting them, a lot of times it's hot. You hunt them kind of early. So you got to be careful about getting them taken care of. I think that probably a lot of people have bad pronghorn experiences from not getting them cooled off because, like, you're in an area that you're out in the plains, so you have low shade, intense sun, heat. It's oftentimes quite remote. So it's like, a lot of guys aren't going to go on a pronghorn hunt and then like drive home and an hour later have it in a cooler.
Right.
You're out in remote areas. There's no shade. It's a hot time of year. It's a hot area. And so I think a lot of people get spoilage because they're letting it, they're not able to get it and they're not rigging themselves up with a way to get it chilled and cool. When we kill them, we take the hide off them immediately.
Yeah, get that winter coat off it.
We get it right. We get the hide off. We open up the ball joints.
Yep.
Like we just get them chilled. And then when you get them up in the breeze and you get them in a game sack, you got no problems then.
Yeah, they drop pretty quick. Yeah. Heck, if if it's 100 pounds, once it's all dressed out like that, you can even probably just throw it in a decent sized Yeti or cooler or something at that point,
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't agree more. It sounds like they are even more prone to that kind of off experience. But I tell that to people all the time who say they had really gamey or nasty, especially something like, all we got is whitetail by me. That's kind of king, right? And like, I don't like venison. It's real gamey. And I think it's usually due from, like you were saying, it's the post shooting to all the way to when you put it in the freezer or the fridge, like how you handle it, getting it cold, not nicking the gut bag and having it, dump all over the freaking, it just stuff like that, I think really play. And to your point, like shooting it in early season archery, even going into fall gun season. I mean, like you shoot an animal and, if you got to drive a little bit or whatever the scenario may be, it was 80 degrees the other day, 70 degrees the other day. You got to, it's a cliche, but I love a cliche, man. It's like it's shooting them's the easy part, a lot of work after, you know what I mean? I've become a lot more hesitant. Like, I shouldn't say a lot more. I haven't getting back into hunting now for just a few years, but more selective on my shooting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hunt unless I'm really like going out there to get something and totally prepared to handle it. I'm not going to be like, oh shit, I got to go do a podcast with Steve. If I shoot something, I'll just let him hang in the barn for, an extra 3. I like to have a nice little game plan.
Like to have a plan put together. Yeah. The word gamey is always really annoyed me because it's like a catch-all. It's a catch-all for, like, I don't like it. Do you follow me? So, like, gamey can mean a bunch of things. Like, if you take a buck during the breeding season, and they have a lot of they have a lot of glandular activity. Their tarsal glands are producing all that oil, and you get that oil on meat. That's a very, very strong flavor. I think that flavor, if you say it's gamey, I think that flavor would qualify, right? Sure. That's an odor that you're not going to find and a flavor you're not going to find on stuff. People say gamey because it doesn't taste like a milked out dairy cow burger, right? People say gamey because someone let it spoil. So it's just this catch-all term meaning like something about it I don't like. Sure. And to me, like gamey would mean it has a strong glandular like it's got like a strong flavor. And what's crazy, it's cultural. Like years ago I was talking to these guys in Scotland that they have these big estates and there's all these red deer on them. And they're able to sell these red deer. So they're like in Europe, we always talk about, in America we always talk about the European model. Like the European model of wildlife management is the landowner owns the animals. The American model of wildlife management is the people own the animals, regardless of whose land it's on. So in the European model, if you have a big estate, you can sell deer. And these guys were telling me that their German customers want red deer, stags, that are killed during the roar or during the rut, meaning they prefer what they call like they want a stronger or high tasting meat. They want like a meat that's got that rugged flavor that a lot of American consumers would taste and be like, that's gamey.
Right.
But they want it. And like you go into old stuff like Escoffier and old, like the old French cookbooks, like the old French masters. I mean, here's guys that would kill a pheasant and they'll hang it by the foot.
Right.
Until it falls away from the foot. Like they want that stuff flavorful.
Man,
and like to them, gamey is good.
And that method, you hear that a lot, right? Like from a chicken or a pheasant or a duck, like people would hang it. I get that. I just want to geek out on a culinary level with that for a second.
Please, tell me something. Tell me something I don't know.
I would get that method if it's a farm harvested animal.
Okay.
But if you're shooting steel shot at this duck and fine, maybe we get one pellet to the head. You got a miracle wood duck. It goes down, right? And it's got one, and that's it. Game over. But if you're like most, it's usually taking a few pellets, right? If one of those is going in and piercing any of that digestive tract, any of that area, a little steel BB, that's like a 9mm getting shot into a duck. You know what I mean? Like, so it's doing a lot of damage. It's ripping up. You're oozing all these enzymes and acids and fecal matter and all this digestive no good. You know, we were just talking about how people get a bad game flavor from things like that, poor handling. I always thought, man, that would be pretty gnarly if you let it go, if you aged it to the point where it was starting decomposition. You know, if limbs and heads are falling off.
No, it's a great point. Yeah. That pellet passes through the digestive tract and then burrows into the flesh, and that flesh is about the size of half your palm. And then you let it fester there. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like a cancer, you know what I mean? You might as well just bury that in the garden for fertilizer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it was just completely compromised. I guess if you were to let it, and listen, I like pushing an age on some things. You know, I like hanging an age in my deer. But you know, I clean it like a psychopath, you know, like I don't even like a piece of hair on there, and everything's like just very meticulous, that process for me. But, you know, letting it hang for a little bit and letting that rigor fall and age a little, I found even like a real big old buck, man, can just taste phenomenal. Yeah, other than that, man, yeah, just the deer season just started here. I actually went and sat this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, archery season's open.
Huh. What'd you see? See anything?
No, I didn't see nothing but squirrels, Steve. Nothing but squirrels today.
Do you have good squirrel hunting where you're at?
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, we got some hog squirrels, man. Big old gray squirrels.
But you're not a squirrel hunter?
I do. I am. I have. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a season thing that I do every year. And maybe I should get more into it. But I do love. I mean, I love hunting them. I'm a big fan of just a lever action. I got a lever action Henry with a little scope on it, and the thing is just surgical. I mean, we're just you know, headshotting them babies right out of the trees. Sometimes I do a little property bird feeder maintenance. Okay, you know, they come in here and we get a bunch of them, and I eat them. Everyone I shoot, I teach that to my kids too. Like if you see that,
they're great, dude.
They're phenomenal. My wife freaks out, and I get it. It looks like a little, you know, it's very rodent-y or whatever, but I never really understood the big freak out over things like that. Unless you're a vegetarian, you know, or, you know, but like if you're eating another type of mammal, I don't see what the big deal is. They're actually delicious. It's like a little rabbit, little tree rabbit.
Oh no, they're unbelievably good. I mean, I love squirrels. I like squirrel hunting. I love eating squirrels. We ate tons of them growing up. Yeah. I don't cook them how we did then, but we ate a lot of them growing up. That was during that era when you'd put them all in a crock pot and then put cream of mushroom soup on there and turn that on.
Bones and all, and it just kind of shreds out.
Yep. We used to eat a lot of them like that. We'd fry it. I got different ways I make it now, but yeah, we love it, man.
What's your go-to squirrel now?
You know, I do like kind of how, if you imagine doing like a oven fried chicken kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'll take them and I'll brown them up. I don't batter them or bread them anymore. I used to do a little bit of that, but I like to take them and brown them in a pan, just like in a cast iron or whatever, something oven safe. I like to brown them, and then I put them in the oven at low heat.
No liquid?
And finish them in the oven.
No liquid, just as like a roast.
No, just like brown and tallow or whatever the hell.
Yep.
Brown them up and then into a 300 oven. And you'll get them to be fork tender. That's how my kids like them the most too. But they shoot a lot of pine squirrels because we don't have good squirrels out where I live. We just have pine squirrels.
What the heck's a pine squirrel?
Some people call them red squirrels or pine squirrels. Okay. Small little guys.
Barky bastards.
Yeah, they got that that high pitch, like that shrill kind of.
Yep. Yeah. Good eating, yeah.
No, not as good as good as fox and gray, but they get a lot. Like I sat down with my kids one time, and we ate 24 of them in one sitting. But they're very small, but they hunt them like hell because they don't have the good kind of squirrels.
Right, them gray squirrels are delicious.
Yeah, we don't have those. Those are the kind of like fox and gray. Fox and gray are like the best.
Whitetails, yeah.
Yeah, fox squirrel, gray squirrels are the best by far.
Yeah, and they get
pine squirrels
nice
are edible. Pine squirrels has a reputation as not being a good food animal, but we eat boatloads of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they're great. They're just smaller, you said, right?
Yeah,
eating the same stuff.
Yeah, but it's very small. It's laborious to clean them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, we like them. I get them in, and it's just like anything. I put a little salt on it a day ahead. Everything, it's just like on the because they skin like a dream. It kind of just it throws off like my wife's sundress on a summer day. It's just that thing just comes right off, and it just and you salt it up. I do little herbs. I tell people you can kind of cook it any way you would. Just look up a rabbit recipe. Any old rabbit recipe you can kind of slap in and out. And I love like the small. I don't want to say small steaks because like maybe just because it's less work, but like. Man, you can shoot a few squirrels, and it's not. You don't have a couple hours of work laying behind you, which is kind of. I like that. I've become more and more into, small little delicacy hunting, little woodcocks and little, wood ducks are my favorite kind of duck, and like squirrel. I think it's squirrel season. Maybe I'll go this weekend.
It is. I guarantee it is. Hey, you remember that chef? Who was that chef that used to have that show? He's British dude. And he kind of had that show about school lunch and stuff.
Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, so he had a chicken recipe that was like this lemon, olive oil, thyme, pulverized.
Yeah.
Dude, I've done a lot of squirrel with that too. But the trick on that is you take a meat fork and poke that son of a bitch like 1,000 times. Like a sharp fork, a carving fork. And just poke it. That's me poking it.
Yep.
Poke it 1,000 times and then put it in that and then grill it. And that's like grilled squirrel.
Yeah.
But you got to get it with that. You got to hit it with that lemon juice, that lemon juice thyme deal, man.
Or, maybe some. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I always tend to kind of, I'm going to try your roast. I don't think I've done that. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Just oven fried, whatever the hell you call it. Yeah. Oven fried. Just like, that's how my mom made chicken when I was a kid. That's why I do that.
It sounds like a roasted chicken in a way without the whole searing part. But what temperature are you putting that sucker in? Like 300?
Oh, when I put it in my oven, 3 or 325. If you go hot, it'll dry it out too quick.
Yeah, I bet.
You got to go low. You can't go full balls on it. No. I brown it. I put like a generous amount of grease in there.
I follow.
Whatever, like put a couple whatever, enough lard where you got like a layer. Like you could tip it around in the pan.
Yeah, heck yeah, fry that thing. How long? Till it's tender.
Be like 20.
Oh, that sounds great.
20 minutes, maybe a little more. I don't time a lot of stuff. I just kind of keep an eye on it. I'll poke it, and then when I poke it, and I can say like, yeah, that'll eat apart. You'll be able to chew that. You'll be able to get that off with your teeth. That's when I should time it. But there's so much variability in squirrel. Like a fox squirrel's a tough bastard.
Are they larger than a gray squirrel?
Fox squirrel's bigger than a gray squirrel. He's got a tougher hide and tougher meat.
Jeez,
a lot of guys like a gray squirrel more than a fox squirrel. I was reading a book recently about, it's called The Land Breakers, a phenomenal novel. Anyways, they make their bootlaces from squirrel hide in this book. And you think about how tough that hide is on a fox squirrel, it'd be a good bootlace.
Right.
That's
is
a tough hide.
It's like sinewed.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm kind of itching to make I'm real excited about making some bootlaces from a squirrel hide.
Make your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. We tan it out or just like nail it on a
just
board.
Raw hide. I'm going to raw hide it. I'm not going to tan it.
Yeah.
I think if you tan it, it'd ruin it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think rawhide. That's what
I'm going to soak it. I'm going to scrape the hair off it, and then I'm going to cut concentric. I'm going to start, so I got the 1/4 inch or whatever, and I'm just going to go round and round and round and round in circles, concentric circles with a razor blade, and I'm going to have a big, long squirrel bootlace.
Wow. Probably never break. Probably pretty slick. I hope you do that, Steve.
I'll send you a picture when I do it. I was going to do it with a groundhog, but that's a ground squirrel. But I'm going to, tree squirrel or a ground squirrel. I'm going to do either way.
Speaking of groundhogs, I like where this is all going. But I heard they're absolutely delicious to eat, like a woodchuck, like a groundhog.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
Oh, you've had them? What, dark meat?
Yeah, it's like a squirrel colored darkish meat.
Well, you like squirrel better?
I've had it. I don't relish it. It's like
it just eats vegetables and it's bigger. It's like more. It's just a little like.
I think if you cooked it down. Like, if you cooked it down and put it in put it in a tamale or cooked it down and put it in anything, a pot pie, no one's going to know the difference.
Okay.
But it's not like a good, leg to gnaw on, you know what I mean? It's not like a little squirrel. It's not like a dainty little squirrel leg, you know? It's just not like...
I'm following.
It's kind of like too big for... If you cooked it down and picked it, you'd never know.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Okay.
Which is true of everything down to probably your house cat. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like there's a lot of stuff you can cook down and pick and put it in stuff, and it's fine.
You would never know. Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like virtually everything in that fashion. Virtually everything is edible if you're willing to do enough steps to like make it into some kind of stuffing. You know.
I mean, I've told you this before, and it's I love the idea of eating like alternative things. You know, I've been wanting to try antelope. The pronghorn is high on my list now. I want to set up a hunt for that, and then also I want to try mountain lion, which I heard is good.
That's legitimately good. That's not good like
you don't have to try.
That's not good like cooking groundhogs or something where you got to do 18 things. You know, that's just good.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Is it what you're just eating shoulders? Does it have like huge loins?
Yeah, the real best, the really good part is the backstrap because you can cook it like a hog. You can cook it like a hog loin. And the fat, surprisingly, the fat on it is good.
White?
That really surprised me. That if you leave the fat cap on that backstrap, it's good like pork fat. The rest of it you got to cook down or whatever, you know. But the loin you just can cook the loin.
Is the fat on the cat white?
I'm trying to remember what color it was.
Or like a little yellow tinge?
Well, must have been white. When it cooks, it looks just like pork fat. It must have been white. I haven't handled a fatty mountain lion backstrap in some years, but yeah.
I guess the only problem, I guess it's not a problem. I shouldn't put it that way. I guess it's just not my desire or style. I have no problem hunting or shooting, the idea of shooting a cat. Mm-hmm. I don't like the idea of using dogs.
I can't tell you how much I disagree with that.
I mean, not because the dog seems like it's living its absolute best life. It's probably the most effective way. It's probably the only way to find or get those damn animals. I don't know how else you're going to hunt a cat. It's probably hunting you unless you were baiting it, which also isn't really my thing. And again,
no,
I'm not
you can't bait it. I can't think of it. It wouldn't be effective. Like they don't like stuff that other stuff killed. It wouldn't be effective baiting them.
Right.
But I'm telling you, like we don't need to talk about it all day, but I'll tell you something. If you were to measure, this is the point I always make with people. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was one time down at a friend's place down in South Carolina. We were deer hunting, and he had bought up some old timber company land, pulp land, where they used to raise pulpwood. And he builds a big tower blind, and his tower blind for deer hunting, you park underneath it. The ground floor is a garage where you can park up side by side.
Sure.
You go up a spiral staircase into the tower. Radiating out from the tower, like the spokes of a wheel, are food plots.
Oh, my God.
Marked off by yardage, like literal yardage markers.
He's got a kitchen up there? Yeah.
Yep. In there, microwave, hot plate, sliding windows and office chairs on carpet. So you can quietly move an office chair to the shooting window you want. God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a blast.
Sitting in this is not a joke. I'm talking to him about dry ground lion hunting, which is chasing lions with hounds when there's no snow. And I'll explain. A dog can't tell what way a lion went. Snow, when you cut a lion track in the snow, you know two very important things. You know how big that lion is, so you know if you're looking at a male or a female, and you know what way it went.
Yeah, direction.
When a dog cuts a lion track in the desert on dry ground, there's a 50% chance you're going the wrong way until you find a track.
Right.
And you might not find a good track.
And I see where you're going.
Well, I'm not to the punchline. I'm explaining all this to a guy, and this is no joke, in his office chair. He says to me, I just don't see the challenge of shooting some lion out of a tree. Okay? If you were to measure how much, you know how we measure information, like terabytes and gigabytes and all that kind of shit?
Yeah, store
bits.
information.
Yeah, like bits of information.
Yeah.
If you were to measure the bits of information required for a human being to breed, raise, train hounds, to learn enough how to even find a lion track, to learn enough about how to ever manage the location and trailing of a lion, and then you were to measure the bits of information required to shoot a white-tailed deer out of an alfalfa field, one would be like the shittiest little
Right, of course.
thumb drive, and the other would be like a mainframe.
One's an art and one's a paycheck. I mean, let's be honest.
It's just so this whole thing of like this idea, and I'm not trying to attack you right now. I'm just pointing out.
No, I've never done
this
it in my
idea
life.
that there's somehow like a lack of, this like argument that there's a lack of challenge. Like, dude, if I took a dude off the street, this is the last thing I'll say about this. If I took a dude off the street and I said to him, okay, I got two things. Take your pick. One, shoot a deer. Okay, shoot a deer. Or two, bring me a dead mountain lion.
Right. Good luck.
What do you think he's going to pick?
Good luck. No, I mean, I think it would be almost impossible without a dog. And I'm not against the hunt itself. Even sounds fun, like. And to your point, the art of getting and successfully hunting a mountain lion, I couldn't even imagine. Extraordinarily difficult. I kind of see I guess it's for me. I'm kind of with your buddy who I oddly feel like I would have much in common with, but like with the tower, I think it's just it's like, cause what the dog's tree, and then it's just up there like,
yeah, but hounds
fucking
been
hissing at you.
Cat hunters don't care. Like cat hunters, the point isn't how it dies.
Okay, it's the hunt.
The point is you got to find a brand new lion track, which no one knows how to do. You got to find a brand new lion track and catch the lion.
All right, I got you.
Like,
all right.
The deer, you think if you go to a deer and interviewed him and said, hey, under what circumstances would you like me to shoot you and kill you? Like,
right.
In the end, something's getting shot by a bullet and dying.
I got you. The reward is that this animal is, I got you. I mean, yeah.
By the time the lion's in a tree, it's over.
Right. Shooting, it's just the nail in the coffin.
Impossible thing. The impossible thing that only in a very elite few people are good at, the impossible thing is getting him into the tree.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's impossible.
Hard to argue.
It's like it's an elite group of people that excel at this. I mean, if you know the guys that are good at it, you could fit them in.
Is that right?
I don't want to say you could fit them around you could fit them in a little theater.
Wow. Okay.
A very small theater. The masters that are alive today would fit in a very small theater.
And the only real way that people are doing it is with dogs.
No, there's shit-lucking into them. There's people shit-luck into them.
Sure.
And then I know a guy that's called, and some guys that are very good can predator call them.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, it's a hound thing.
Gotcha.
Always been done that way. That's just how it's done.
Do they ever get the dogs? And again, I'm not like I'm all about it. I love the idea of using that doesn't bother me. The uses of dogs. I mean, the dogs. Mm-hmm. I mean, it probably wouldn't want it any other way. Do they ever get the dogs?
Yeah, they'll kill the dogs.
They turn around and swat them and stuff.
Yeah. I got a handful of friends who are lifelong houndsmen, and they all got stories about losing dogs. It's a thing that happens. I was running with my buddy 2 winters ago. Me and my buddy, his 2 kids and my 3 kids were all out. I can't remember if I had all 3 of my kids. I think so. We were all out with his hound checking for tracks, and we actually got onto a bobcat track and turned out on a bobcat track, and his dog about died because it fell off a cliff.
Whoa.
Nothing to do with the cat. When we found it, we thought it was dead, but it wound up living. And that's just falling off a cliff.
Just nose down, just poof.
Well, there's a thing like you put a GPS collar on them so you don't lose them. Mm-hmm. And we turned out like on one side of a canyon. He turned the dog out on the track. We found the track on snowmobiles, and he turned the dog out, and the dog went down into the bottom of this canyon. You could tell it jumped the cat because all of a sudden the dog was going up through a bunch of cliff bands. And it wouldn't be like what a cat would do when he was hunting. It's what a cat was doing when he was something was chasing him, so he went into the cliffs. And then if a dog holds still, if he stops moving, you'll get a signal that the dog is bayed up. Because when he finally catches it and chases it into a tree, he's just going to sit there. But he's going to bark his ass off. And we can see, we got it on GPS, but we can also look and see where he's bayed up, but there's no noise. And we're like, if he's looking at the cat, he'd be making all kind of racket.
Barking.
So you know that the fact that he's quiet and not moving. So we told all the kids to make a fire, and we went down across that canyon and climbed up and got up there, and sure enough, you can see where the dog hit at the foot of a cliff, where it hit and slid down the hill, and there's like blood streaks in the snow coming down the hill. We get up there, my buddy is very upset. I put my ear against the dog's chest, and I can hear like a gurgling. And shit. I thought it had punctured a lung.
Right.
So I go back. My buddy takes the dog, loads him into his backpack. It's a big dog, 75-pound dog. Loads the dog into his backpack and starts headed down the canyon. I run back up, get the kids, and we take the snowmobiles around and meet him. He eventually comes down with the dog, and the dog's kind of out of it. We put the dog onto the snowmobile, and him and his older daughter book it for a vet. They get to the vet, and what had happened is something I never even heard of. Its diaphragm got a hole in it. So air had come into its lung cavity, or like its chest. Mm-hmm. So when I was hearing gurgling, it wasn't blood running around, it was air.
Right.
So they actually sucked that air out of there, and that dog snaps right back to it.
No way.
He had some broken bones and shit, but
yeah.
That dog's back to normal now. My buddy says the only different things his wife thinks its bark sounds different now. But that
well,
dog,
sure.
That dog is back at it. He's gearing up for another year of lion hunting.
Dang, huh? That was pretty recent.
No, 2 years. Yeah, no. He hunted last year. That dog did, and that's a pound puppy. Wow. He got that dog from a dog pound.
And it's a good hunter.
Big old hound dog. Yeah, he's learning. But he doesn't have a hunting partner. That dog has to do it on his own. So it's just my buddy Yanni and his dog. But they catch some lions. He's never shot a lion over that dog. Right. But they catch some lions.
Do they always go to a tree, or would they ever get like cornered in like a rock like crevice or something?
Yeah, they'll duke it up on the ground. They'll get into little caves. They'll get into rock piles and stuff. Like this is like I don't have I'm not telling you stuff I know from my personal experience as much as I'm telling you stuff that I know from my friends. But yeah,
sure.
But yeah, they do various things, you know.
That sounds like hell to walk up to.
Yeah, and you lose the tracks too. Yeah. But yeah, they'll fight on they'll fight on the ground.
How big does like a big male mountain lion get in the North America?
You get up into 170, and you're talking about big mountain lions.
170.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, a lot of guys like people are always like 200-pound Tom. You know, that's like I talked to a guy one time. He was a researcher in Oregon, and he had ran their mountain lion program in Oregon for years, and he had weighed I don't know how many on like certified scales. He had weighed hundreds of lions on certified scales, and I can't remember what the biggest. Like he said that when you get above, I feel like I wish I'd remembered the number. I think it was he was like, if you get above 165,
it's a freak.
Well, he says at that point, what you're probably looking at is it's probably got a belly full of meat.
Right.
You know, so these big lions, you know, when you get these weights that are like, you know, you get like 180, 190, whatever, these big lions, a lot of times you're looking at that sucker's got
30 pounds of sheep.
He's got 10, 20 pounds of venison in his gut too, you know.
Right.
But yeah, those are big lions. Like there are freaks, but one's like a male that gets up into 170 and up, those are giants.
Jesus. I mean, I know what a 170-pound deer looks like, and like, you know, and it's like a big fat bellied, you know, deer. If it was just a 170-pound cat, that's like an Africa. I mean, I guess they're probably maybe a bit larger, right?
Oh, but they're like, bigger, yeah. But he can kill a cat that big can kill a cow without thinking about it.
An adult cow.
He can kill a cow.
Just neck it.
I mean, look, think about it. He can kill a bull elk. He can kill 600-700 pound bull elk with like not an issue.
Always blows me away the strength of like an animal like that, or it reminds me of like seeing clips of like brown bears or grizzly where they like drag a bull elk like up a hill. Like,
unbelievable strength.
I think
you can't relate to it.
It's unbelievable how much power that would take.
Yeah, you
need a
can't.
pickup truck.
You can't relate to it. You can't. It's like it's. I was reading this thing the other day about human weakness. We're like
so soft.
We're like, it was kind of talking about all this stuff. All these problems we have. Like we sleep too soundly. Just how vulnerable we are.
Steve, I almost died from a dorsal fin. Yeah. I almost lost my leg to a dorsal fin. You think?
Yeah, we're slow. We think we're fast, but we're actually really slow. We're very vulnerable. We can't see in the dark very good.
We're terrible at staying alive. I don't know how.
But we have we have an incredible intelligence that makes up for it all. But like just as physical specimens, we're not that impressive.
No, fire and weapons. We made fire and weapons. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. Our babies are the fucking worst at staying alive. Yeah. All it tries to do is kill itself.
That's what I was talking about too. Another human vulnerability. It was like looking at animals, like talking about the naked human. That was another vulnerability is their offspring. Like speaking about us like a species, their offspring are clueless, slow to mature, and very loud.
It's unbelievable. And somehow we took over the earth. You think about like a wild animal. Like it comes out like it doesn't get taught anything. No one's doing anything really for you. And it's just like, and things are trying to instantly eat you.
Yeah, one thing they know is shut up.
Quick,
like tomatoes.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely wild, man. So, Steve, you got what's been going on with the MeatEater stuff? I know you got the podcast cranking, and you got new seasons coming up or a new episode?
Yeah, I got so we've been working on. I got a handful of things coming out that we got happening right now. I've been doing this series, MeatEater's American History. And we just finished volume 4. So the way MeatEater's American History goes is we look at these various little chunks of time in American history when we look at these market hunting explosions in American history. So the first one we did was called the Long Hunters. The most famous long hunter is Daniel Boone, okay? And the long hunter was a term they used in the colonial frontier it was like a long hunter was a guy that went on very long hunts. And the long hunters were deerskin hunters. So Daniel Boone, for a living, was a deerskin hunter. They'd come out of the colonial frontier and go into Appalachia to hunt deerskins, which were exported to Europe. So when you see a picture of an old king and he's got those white pants on, those are probably American buckskin.
Wow.
That period, we kind of talk about that period between the French and Indian War and the American Revolution. Volume 2, we talk about the mountain men and the beaver skin trade, which we cover from 1806 to 1840. I just said volume 4. We're on volume 3. In volume 3, which is called the Hide Hunters, we jump to 1865. The Hide Hunters is about the buffalo skin trade. Basically the story of the guys that killed the last 15 million off the Great Plains. 1865, which is the end of the Civil War, and it ends in 1883. So in 1865, America very much turns westward with its ambitions, economic expansion. 1883, they killed the last one. Basically the last one. So I've been working on that, and we got volume 3, The Hide Hunters, is coming out, and then we got a new season of a 6-pack of MeatEater episodes coming out real soon.
Yeah, heck yeah, man! I love the history one. I like both. I mean, both. But like, where would like the French, in what time frame were like the French, the voyagers, like the guys in the canoes with them long canoes, where they would go and portage from lake to lake up there.
Yeah, that would have been in some ways simultaneous. That was a very long era. Maybe someday we'll do a thing about the Voyagers. But that was like that was a waterborne system. So if you go north out of the U.S. and into Canada, and all the water's flowing into like Hudson Bay, when we think of the American West, we think of horseback and wagons, right? And there was some shipping on the Missouri River in keel boats and other kinds of watercraft. The difference there is they're conducting the fur trade in the north, in the boreal forest. They're conducting the fur trade all by canoe.
Right.
And so it was, and that prevented them, that form of transport in some ways prevented them from getting into the buffalo trade because the goods were too bulky and heavy.
Sure.
But there was always that fine fur business in the north dominated by the Hudson Bay Company. And there are differences in Canada. It was quite formalized. Like the Hudson Bay Company had a charter from the government to conduct the fur trade. In America, on the American frontier, it was always more cutthroat, very competitive, much more smaller operations, less centralized, more violent against Native Americans.
Yeah.
The northern Hudson Bay, like, voyageur system was much more top down, but equally very fascinating, but more top down, French dominated. Gotcha. Yeah. Early it was French and became English.
And the new clip of the MeatEater stuff in episodes, is that going to be on? That's on MeatEater.com.
Yeah, and we put up our fast channels. It goes to outdoor channel, and then we'll have it all on YouTube too. Very available.
Is it out now?
Nope, not out yet. It's coming up. I can't remember when. Real soon.
Can you talk about what the episodes are?
Yeah. So remember I said I spent a month in Africa?
Yep.
We filmed 3 things in Africa.
What
Which, dude, that changed my life. Changed my life in Tanzania. Just like unbelievable wilderness. Like wilderness. Then we got an episode about muzzleloader. We got a muzzleloader in Montana episode. We got a episode where I go turkey hunting and hog hunt with Luke Combs down in Texas. He's a lot of fun. Then we got a Louisiana spearfishing episode. Greater amberjack, cobia, snapper.
Like off rigs?
Also shrimping and bow fishing.
Nice. Oh, fun. So that sounds like a blast.
Shrimping and bow fishing for redfish.
Cool, man.
Which is kind of naughty. People get riled up about that, man. Yeah.
That's okay.
No, I don't care.
The spearfishing, man, it's something I know you got into. I've been dabbling a bit, not as much as you, just locally. But man, isn't it the best? No,
I love it. I kind of feel like I've wasted part of my life by not being into it. But where I live, it's a little harder. It's like like living in the Northern Rockies. It's like you got to kind of you don't have good spearfishing out your back door here, so you got to But I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I never did it down south, just locally here.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's a blast. I've done a couple striped bass, but mostly there's this fish called tautog or blackfish, and it is just one of the funnest fish to hunt with a spear gun. It's just it's nothing super challenging as far as depths or visibility is your biggest thing, maybe current sometimes, but like you get in these rocks and it's just like. It's just looking, it's always like what's in the next little hole.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, they got these white chins, the bigger ones. And they got these teeth that like only a mother could love, like almost like these like bad English human teeth, like coming out of their face. Sorry to English folks. That was a bad joke. But it was just like these like gnarly horse teeth. And, they're just eating crabs and stuff. And they get pretty big, and it's just, man, I got my favorite little rifle gun, and it's just, I can't wait to get the kids into it. It's, if they want to, of course. But I think
my older boy, man, he's obsessed with the whole thing. But like I said, just opportunities. But we got a couple trips coming up, so yeah, we'll get in the water. I love it. I still love riding reel fishing too, though.
Oh, me too. It's been a great joy of mine, Steve, out here. Like I said, there's a really, really amazing fishery from striped bass. I love them green bonita and the albies, and then offshore, I don't have the firepower or even the know-how to pull off some of the stuff, but man, going out with buddies and tuna fishing, and friends catch swordfish and tilefish, and that offshore stuff out here, you get into that Gulf Stream, it's I never seen nothing like it. Like the whales everywhere and
Mm-hmm.
dolphins
Yep.
and sharks and shit. It's awesome, man. You ever shoot a tuna?
No, man. We one time, we're way out, like way out in Hawaii, and we were heading out to spearfish some weather buoys,
Mm-hmm.
which collect a lot of stuff.
Mahi and stuff, or just like
Yeah, and it was just getting light out, and there was a bunch of tuna, and we trolled through them and caught caught maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them on rod and reel.
yellowfin.
Yeah, and then we got in the water and we shot wahoo and mahi, but no, and like it might have been smart just to be like, okay, we're not going to actually catch them. We're going to try to get in the water and try to shoot them, but it was also like half dark out, you know. But no, I didn't. My brother last year, man, he got he was down in Baja and got a marlin, which is badass.
Dang, you go down to Baja? You ever been that? You go down?
Oh,
there,
we go. Yeah, we take our kids for spring break every year. Yeah.
Good spirit. You go right off the beach, I think. In some
we shoot
spots,
more
right?
fish than we can eat, man.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's
the limiting. Like that's the limiting factor is like how much do we need? That's what we shoot.
What kind of fish you go down there shooting?
Real mixed bag on reef fish.
Yeah, snapper-y type of stuff. And
well, yeah, we shoot a lot of gray bar grunts. There's a bunch of stuff, man. We get some gaff top pompano, just a handful, like a lot of different things. Just like I said, a real mixed bag, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Next year,
you get there's some small grouper in there, leopard grouper, hawkfish, just a lot of stuff.
Steve, we should get together between the two of us. My God, we certainly know some. We should let's go shoot tuna together.
I'm in.
That would be a blast, man. I'm like kind of terrified, but in like a really exciting way.
No, I'd love it. I think we know the right folks if we put our little noodles together.
I think we'd have the best chance in the world of connecting those dots. Yeah, man, it's been a really fun thing to learn, and yeah, it's just I can't wait. Tog season's about to open back up, and like I said, I got a little boat here, and it's just it's the best, man. Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, man. Is there anything else you want to? What else you got going on? You got like. If you guys don't know Steve from MeatEater and stuff, way to plug this at the end here, Brad. But if you don't know Steve from his MeatEater stuff, he's also you got what now? Like you got a couple handfuls of books.
Yeah, I got a lot of books. 10 books. Got
a
couple wild game cookbooks, an outdoor cookbook, a wild game cookbook, and but like I said, right now, like the thing I've been working on is that American History series, and that's been a ton of fun. And we got a new one coming right up. Like very soon, we got a new one coming out, the Hide Hunters. But the Long amazing. Hunters and the Mountain Men is available now.
Oh, I'll be sure to check them out, man. Where do folks find those again?
They're audio original, so anywhere you buy audiobooks.
Oh, cool.
Like anywhere you go, anywhere you get any kind of audiobook, you'll find it.
And is it you read it? Your
voice?
Yeah,
it's my read. Yep. It's my read.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're the one reading it for sure, Steve. Because like in the before you joined us, I introduced you a little bit, and I say this all the time, and like I consider you kind of like it's always been a huge inspiration of mine. But I always tell people that you're like the Bourdain of the outdoor space when it comes to like media and exposure, and really just kind of taken down, not that it always was and not that some of the other programming wasn't, but like really made it popular and attractive and intelligent to like, it wasn't just a bunch of rednecks shooting signs, it was what hunters really were, which were like some of the most dialed in conservatives, and not conservatives, conservationists, and shepherds of the land that I've ever met, and you just have you have an amazing voice for it, man, and you've made a hell of a career out of it. And I think all of us that have watched it have really benefited from it, man. And it's been awesome to see how much you've done. And like I said, you've been doing it before I ever got into making any kind of videos and stuff. Not that I just do hunting and fishing, but like, yeah, I guess it's been an honor to have you on the podcast and to hang out with a few times, man. And hopefully we can link up a few more times. If you're ever out in New England, man, I'm telling you, we can. Not that you need more hunting or fishing trips, but
well, that was very generous. Thank you very much for saying all that nice stuff. And I think that what we need to do is plan plan a spearfishing trip, and let's make that happen. We won't do it on here. We'll do it separately, but let's do it. We can flip a coin over who films it.
Oh no, we'll both fine. Oh, you mean like whose crew films it?
Yeah, whose crew?
You can. You guys.
We'll do a combined crew.
Oh yeah, Steve. Before I forget, it's ironically a little segment I do called Before I Forget, because I always forget. There's a couple questions I always like to ask people at the end. Little speed date. Okay. Currently, at the moment, what is your the music that? What is there something you're listening to the most at the moment?
Yeah, they just found that. Well, I'm kind of waiting for it to come out. Waylon Jennings. Well, some of it's out. Waylon Jennings' kid just found a whole bunch of like unreleased Waylon Jennings material.
I was reading that, man. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, so that I'm into that because I'm a huge Waylon Jennings fan, man. I listen to so much different kind of music, but I'm most excited about that Waylon Jennings business.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's not out, right? They didn't release.
Well, they released one. I got to look. I got it saved on my phone. I can't remember when they released the rest, but they released one that was like a Fleetwood Mac tune, the one that they did. But no, I'm waiting on that. His kid Shooter Jennings is releasing all that.
Yeah,
it sounds good. Like the one they released has a great sound. It doesn't sound like something he found, like some old tape he found that was like kind of broken and crinkled up. Like it sounds great. Very excited about the Waylon Jennings releases.
All right, tuna melt, yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know why not. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, delicious. I've been on a tuna melt kick. Last question, all right? End of the road, Steve. Last meal, man. All right, the gig's up.
Oh, like I'm dying?
Yep, that's it. You got one meal and then it's lights out.
No, like just a top or bottom round off a mule deer, seared, thrown in the oven at 400, real rare.
Yeah,
sliced real thin, tons of salt.
Beef.
Not tons, but you know what I mean, like the right amount.
Mule deer is your favorite thing, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh,
delicious
with the salt on there. That's good.
Like a hot roast beef.
Oh,
just bloody on the slicer on a deli slicer.
People are like, "Is that okay to eat?" That's what they're asking me. That's how rare it is.
Hey man, everyone's got an answer, Steve. Thank you again, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
This episode was produced by Leone and Carolyn Gagnon in partnership with Studio 71. It was edited by Kate Brunotts with music by Harrison Menzel.